The red was on, and then when I checked it, there were no photos. That's
There's
weird
two
already.
people moved up there. I thought it was a ghost, but it was the two ladies.
Okay. So what did you find out before exactly about, so why is it called the Monte Cristo?
So it's called Mount of Christ. So due to their religion, I think they're old Catholic or something, so it was Mount of Christ. That's why they called it Monte Cristo.
What was the other thing you found out about Monte Cristo?
It's a famous French sandwich.
So there's a story about these stairs. This mark here is the mark from where the maid fell to her death.
Well, fell or supposedly may have been pushed by Mrs. Crawley.
Yeah. So,
You're here. I'm just going by what
story has it
say.
that one of the maids was actually on the top veranda doing her duties. She was actually pregnant to Mr. Crawley. So I guess that really set Mrs. Crawley off. Who pushed her? We don't know. But those marks there on the steps, they're the marks from the blood from the housemaid.
Yeah.
And she died.
But
Yep.
that wasn't the first maid either.
No. Mr. Crawley was quite busy. He got 2 maids pregnant. We'll get to that part a little bit later on when we take you to that area. Hopefully we can get to. So we're about to go into the house. We're just going to see what happens and just go with it. So if you're keen to come with us, keep watching.
You know, he dug an underground well and found water and made that into the town's water supply.
Really? Wow. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, I think it's pretty cool that he actually built this beauty. Yeah. Are you ready to go in?
Huh?
Are you ready to go
Yeah.
in? Okay.
Feeling a bit anxious.
No, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. So, just a quick little fact as well, if you don't really know too much about the Monte Cristo, it was then basically abandoned, just left to rack and ruin, and then the Ryans actually purchased it back in the 60s, early 60s, for around about £1,000, and then they slowly restored it. They had no idea of the goings-on that happened in the Monte Cristo, and they raised their young family in here, and they're still the owners today.
One of the stories is, though, that when the Ryans were here, they sent one of the daughters to go check on one of the young boys, or the son. So she walked up the stairs, went into his bedroom, and there was a man sitting on the end of his bed looking over her brother. She screamed, and whoever it was that was sitting on the bed disappeared. They actually believe it was Mr. Crawley just sitting there looking over the child.
And one of the reasons why Mr. Crawley built the homestead right up here on top of the hill was so he could look over. I know it's a little bit bushy now, so he could look over what he thought really, I guess, was his town, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. He was the hobnob, really, of the town.
You know, he was quite, I'm not going to say shrewd, but he was very business-minded.
Yeah, but he was the friendly one. Like they say, he was the real friendly one, probably why he was friendly with the maids.
Mm.
And it was Elizabeth Crawley who was the real stern one. She never left the house much, but they said she was really stern.
Yeah, but she was a bit like Margaret Thatcher. She ruled with an iron fist.
She did.
What I'm going to say before I was really interrupted, so he was quite the investment man, so he knew that the railway was being redeveloped, so he built the hotel, which is now the Junee Hotel, and then purchased all the land around it. Then also the water. So for someone coming from Sydney to here, he had a lot of good ideas.
Yeah.
And he obviously made a lot of money from his decisions.
That's right. Well, it's time. We're going in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, that's cold. Let's go in here, babe. What a beautiful room.
Look at this. Gosh. Remember mirrors. Mirrors.
Would this have been the lounge?
Maybe just like the front sitting room. I don't feel anything from here.
So the doorway's quite tall, because back in the day, they used to be a lot shorter.
But look how wide it is. Like, look at the width. Look at the width of this. How's the furnishings? Simply stunning. And the wallpapers are amazing too. Ooh, there's a lot of hats here. Are you okay?
My hand just went really cold.
She's behind you.
Yeah, I know. My hand went really cold there.
Hello, Mrs. Crawley. You can't actually go out onto the balcony at this stage that I'm aware of. I actually don't think you can go out on the balcony. But I'm thinking maybe the maid would have walked out here.
Yep.
And then we're looking out down here to then what happened downstairs. We're feeling pretty good. How are you feeling?
I felt my hand was cold in the bottom room.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the bottom of the stairs, my hand was cold as well, my right hand.
Yeah. So as we mentioned before, it was just run absolutely derelict. So all these furnishings and what we see today are from what the Ryans rebuilt it. And I guess what they used in their life here. But it's absolutely amazing, like with the glassware and the furniture and the carpet and just the detail to things, isn't it?
But I'm assuming that once they moved out, they've tried to restore it to its original glory.
Yeah.
Because this would have been typical furnishings in the 1960s, late 70s.
That's true, yeah. I'm sure some of it would have been. And I'm keen to find out when we go back and have a chat to Olive. Because she said if I make it back, she's happy to have a chat to me about a few other different things. So I'm not sure how old Olive would be. She'd have to be, I don't want to ask her because she looks gorgeous.
It's in her 80s.
Yeah, she is. And you know what she said? She goes, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't go out with wild men, because I commented on how beautiful her hair looked. And she goes, I go and have my hair done once a fortnight, and that's my treat. Oh. With the link below, I'll put, they do ghost tours here. We were hoping we were going to get in to a ghost tour, but they literally book out like 8 months to 12 months in advance. All the details are below, but what you can do is just like what we're doing, have a wander around on your self tour of the property.
But we have to come back this way after we come back from where we're going.
Yeah, so I think we got to book ahead. Yeah.
I'm not too keen on staying though, but...
Yeah, I'm keen. We're going to stay.
Okay, please.
Okay. You sort of get like little like pins and needles type of thing. Is that what you got?
No, it's like if someone put an ice cube in my hand.
After Mr. Crawley passed, it was said that Elizabeth never left the Monte Cristo, only on 2 occasions. She made this room on the top here one of her little chapel rooms, and all she did was sit up here and read the Bible for hours and hours on end. And it's said that with her ghost, on the property, you'll see her wearing a black lace dress holding a silver cross. I guess because she spent so much time up there. Would be good to be able to go up there.
So supposedly Mr. Crawley had another child to a maid. When the boy was born, they called him Harold. Now he had an accident with a carriage, or a coach that actually hit him. He did survive, but he ended up with a mental and physical disability. So what happened was the maid was moved out of the house and they were made to live here, and because of his mental and physical disability, he was chained to this wall permanently. So his
Can I just say, hang on a minute, when I put the camera here, it keeps flashing. I'm sorry to interrupt, and that's happened 3 times now.
So the thing was, his mother did die, and he was left here for days, chained to the wall until the police turned up because they had not seen, or they had reports they hadn't seen the lady. Now he was moved to a mental asylum where he died a couple of months later. Now he supposedly still haunts the grounds by dragging a chain around through the outside areas.
Yeah, this is the room. This is the room that a lot of people feel like they can't go into.
What happened in here?
I'm not sure.
Feel dizzy.
It is actually said, Dave just said that he felt dizzy. They reckon that dizziness and feeling nauseous can come on really quickly in certain parts around here, and it's happened to quite a few people. Are you okay? You look like you've gone all dewy. Do you want to sit down?
No, I'm okay.
This isn't just for the vlog either,
No,
by the way.
I felt dizzying when I come out of here. It was like a quick,
They reckon you can get shortness of breath.
No, it wasn't shortness of breath. It was like a massive pain, like not a pain, but like when you get butterflies, but it was just like a
Like a... Okay. So this is attached to the actual original homestead. We can't have access to the homestead today. It's all locked up for whatever reason. It does feel really cold in here, like really, really cold. I haven't felt any shortness of breath or anything, or felt like Dave did, but I don't actually know what went on in here. Oh, don't know what this is. Okay. I'm also going to say, I know that I'm doing a lot of videoing, but my battery has literally gone from 100% like whoosh, down below 20% already.
It just says in the carriage here, if you're to be felt or seen, it'll be in here.
The story of this area is really chilling. I just think it's absolutely horrific. Basically, one of the young men were feeling sick. He actually lived in here. This was his little area of living on his bed. He basically was so sick he couldn't get out of bed. I'm not quite sure. Was it Mr. Crawley?
No, his boss.
His boss. Sorry, I'm a little bit scattered with this one. His boss told him basically he had to get out of bed, he had to get to work, he had things to do. He was so sick he just couldn't get out of bed. His boss didn't believe him, so he literally set his bed on fire and he burnt to death. It's said that his spirit roams the property, and some people have said that they'll smell burning or they'll see smoke. There's no fire, there's no smoke. It does feel really eerie over here.
I just feel nauseous when I go in there.
Dave felt quite nauseous. He doesn't want to come over here at all. Again, we're not just saying this for the vlog. It's actually how we're feeling. Probably more so how Dave's feeling. I probably felt my coldest in the carriage room, which was where Reginald Ryan spends most of his time. But we're going to keep wandering around the yard and yeah, see how else we feel and see what we find. I also forgot to tell you one other little quirky fact. So Lawrence is actually Olive's son, and he's a daredevil. He's Lawrence the legend, and he actually stunted and went on his motorbike. They built it up and did scaffolding, and he jumped the Monte Cristo. He's actually not here at the moment, he's away, but how cool is that? Gotta say, that's not something you just randomly do. It's got to take a lot of practice and skill, and yeah, Olive told me she sat there with her eyes closed as he jumped the Monte Cristo and he made it. So there's a couple of things I wanted to share with you after speaking to Olive. She is a wealth of information, and why wouldn't she be? Because she's still here after living here for over 60 years. She did share with me that it is going to be her 93rd birthday this November, and I wished her a huge happy birthday week. What have I found out? So earlier when we first arrived, I was in this exact same spot down here by the gate. Now, I was trying to take a photo of Dave actually standing there. 3 times I tried to take the photo and it would not work. For what reason, I have no idea. However, I then took the photo, went to check for the photo on there. It was completely gone. It did work because it showed up and then it was gone. I did ask Olive about that, and there are several times that has actually happened to not only visitors to the Monte Cristo, also to the staff. When we were down in the carriage area, we did notice probably a lot of different feelings. That's when Dave felt quite nauseous as well. I took photos. I definitely made sure that there was no light bouncing back, and it could have been from the light. I'm not quite sure. Take it however you want. We do believe that there was definitely something going on there. There was definitely orbs. We also did see a foggy sort of haze on one of the carriages. I actually did show Olive that and Naomi, and there has been known to be like a blue haze in there for some reason. So again, take that how you want. We're going to say that it was the Reginald because, again, as Olive said, that was one of his favourite places to be. I'm going to highly recommend anyone to come out to see the Monte Cristo. it is definitely an experience. We probably haven't covered all of the facts, but once again, I think you just need to come out here, just walk through, just take it all in, if you're a believer or not. It's one magic place, I've got to say, a magic place in a unique way. So